My company has a rotational training program in which we have new grads rotate through my group for 2-month stints. During that time, I coordinate their workload and give formal feedback, but I'm not their manager. Should they join my group once their training program ends, I will be their peer. How do I give constructive feedback without making it an awkward future for me? Ooh, that's a good question and kind of a tricky one. So I think that the biggest thing you might want to do is to be a really great source of information, someone that these folks can trust. You know, when you're new or you're doing a rotational program or you're in school, like you inevitably have 1,000 questions, and it's often the hardest thing is figuring out who to go to get those questions answered, and frankly, answered reliably. So I think in becoming that trusted source for them, you can give constructive feedback. You can give really good feedback. You can be like, that's kind of stupid. That doesn't make sense. So that if and when those people do join your group, you've already established yourself as someone who's trustworthy, reliable, friendly, supportive, and honest. And that sets you up, and that sets future you up at the same time. Would it be a bad move to this startup company and leave my corporate job behind? Say no more. The answer is no. That is a very, very, very good move. Okay, anyways. I think I would enjoy the work more, the pay better, and I have an opportunity to grow something big. Okay, back to my first statement is like, run, don't walk to this job. Like, very rarely can you go to a startup where you make more money and the work is better than your corporate job. That right there is like, get the fuck out the door. Back to the question. However, I'm nervous that it would be a risky move since I feel safe in my job right now and I'm learning a lot from more senior members. I'm not sure if I'm giving up on working in the corporate world or if I just realized I prefer the scrappier startup work vibe. Okay, again, run, don't walk to this new job. The only thing I would say before you run out the door is to make sure that you have a manager or someone senior to you that's as good or better than this manager that you respect now. If that answer is yes, go. If that answer is no, maybe give it a little bit of pause and dig around the startup to see who you can learn from. I think the most important thing at work is learning. This seems like a no-brainer. You should do it, as I've mentioned like 15 times over, but just make sure you have someone who can teach you while you're there. What is your experience and advice with respect in the workplace? How do you think it's best earned, given, and respected? Ooh, okay. Respect is never given, and respect is always earned. That feels like an ad slogan for something. Always earned, I think, is Dave's watch slogan. Let's check the Brick Watch Company. I'm pretty sure it's always earned. But anyways, I agree with that. So respect can't be given to someone. You have to earn respect. It is always earned. That's good. I remember the ads. My advice to earning respect in the workplace and holding and commanding and keeping respect is a couple things, which is one, be good at your job, like be functionally good. If you have to make Excel reports, make great Excel reports. If you have to write copy for advertisements, write great copy. If you have to shoot videos, shoot and edit great videos. If you have to create marketing materials, create the best marketing materials. If you're a salesperson, crush your number, right? Like the first way to earn respect is by being good at something. You should do it in your own way. You should do it in your own style. You should be human. You're going to fuck up in that process. Every day you're not going to be great. You're going to stumble. You're going to say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, think the wrong thing, be the wrong thing. All that's going to happen. But the best way to earn respect is to do something that is respect worthy, to do something with integrity, to do something in a way that is positive, to be a force of good. And by being all of those things and being fairly consistent about them, I think that's the best way to gain, earn, and keep respect in the workplace. What it would be an appropriate and professional way to ask if an internship can possibly lead to a job offer in an interview? Is that something I should or shouldn't ask? You can totally ask that. The interview is for you as much as it is for the person who's interested in hiring you. I think the way you ask that question is, hey, I see that you have an internship program. Maybe you're interviewing for the internship program. I'd love to understand how many interns turn into full-time employees. And then once the hiring manager answers that, ask a few follow-on questions that shows your interest. And I actually wouldn't be afraid to say, I'm looking for an internship. I would really love this to turn into a full-time position. What are the criteria of the people who've been most successful doing that? Who are the people that have really stood out and that you've wanted to ultimately hire for full-time roles? So the question is totally appropriate. The way to ask it professionally is to get more detail about, do interns convert to full-time employees? Ask like a broad question, and then ask about the criteria that make most successful interns, and ask about the criteria that gets those interns turned into full-time employees.